Welcome to Wholehearted, How to Stay Human in a Crazy World. I'm Gina Hendrickson, and each week we explore simple, honest practices for living with courage, compassion, and clarity without losing ourselves along the way. Now, if life has been feeling a little loud and reactive lately, just settle in because you're in the right place. Last week, we talked about one simple rule. Don't add harm. Pause before reacting. Refuse to escalate. Stay human. But there's a second step I'm introducing in this week's episode. It's not enough to avoid harm. We also have the opportunity to actively add good. To actively add good. And that may be even more powerful because goodness is not passive. I dare say goodness is disruptive. We live in a culture that is fueled by outrage. Algorithms reward anger. Conversations tilt toward criticism. And cynicism can start to feel intelligent. But goodness feels almost rebellious. Small acts of decency, unexpected generosity, ordinary kindness without performance. Now that kind of goodness, man, that stands out. Not because it's flashy, but because it's rare. John Wesley, one of my most important spiritual guides, gave awesome advice for living life wholeheartedly with two connected ideas. First, do no harm, as named in the first episode, and now, secondly, do good. Do good, not occasionally, not when convenient, but intentionally. And here's what I've personally learned. Doing good is rarely dramatic. It's usually quiet. It looks like someone sending the text you've been meaning to send. It looks like telling someone specifically exactly why you appreciate them. It looks like tipping generously. And it looks like choosing encouragement instead of critique. It looks like showing up with your whole heart. There's just something powerful about deciding I will leave this space better than I found it. And that space, it might be your home or your meeting, your friend group, your social media feed, your favorite local coffee shop, your neighborhood. You know, you may not control the culture, but you absolutely shape the atmosphere of the room or the space that you're in. And that matters. You know, sometimes I think we underestimate how much impact small goodness carries. A sincere compliment can interrupt someone's spiral of self-doubt. A handwritten note that can shift someone's entire week. A calm response can de-escalate a tense conversation. We think goodness has to be big to count. Well, I'm telling you, it doesn't. I once took a moment to write a short note to someone in my church, just naming what I appreciated about them. And later, they told me that they had been having a really, really tough week. And that note reminded them that they mattered. It wasn't a big deal, but it became a big deal for them. Most transformation happens at the level of the ordinary. But let's be honest, doing good isn't always easy. I think it's easy to be kind when you feel appreciated, harder when you feel overlooked, right? It's easy to be generous when you feel abundant, but harder when you feel stretched. It's easy to encourage someone you like, harder when they have frustrated you. But this is where intention becomes character, and character shapes culture. Now there's another layer to this that I want to name and be real clear about, because doing good doesn't mean being a doormat, right? Hear that, my friends. It doesn't mean overextending yourself. It doesn't mean saying yes to everything. Sometimes doing good looks like setting a healthy boundary. Sometimes it looks like telling the truth kindly. Sometimes it looks like not participating in behavior that diminishes others. Goodness is not weakness. All right, now I'm going to say it again. Goodness is not weakness. It is strength directed toward wholeness. Wholeness of mind, body, and spirit. Now, I've noticed something in my own life. When I am intentional about doing good, even in small ways, something shifts inside of me. I feel less reactive, less cynical, and more grounded. It's as if goodness kind of reboots my internal compass. Because the truth is, we become what we practice. So if we practice outrage, we become reactive. If we practice criticism, we become that sharp edge. But if we practice goodness, oh man, we become steady. And here's this beautiful part. Goodness seriously multiplies. When someone experiences unexpected kindness, they are more likely to pass it on. It spreads quietly, one act at a time. And you may not ever even see the ripple effect, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. So here's a simple question for this week. Where can you intentionally add good? Right? Not everywhere, just somewhere. Pick one place. Pick one relationship. Or pick one environment. And decide, I will add good here. Not because people deserve it, not because it will be noticed, but because it reflects the kind of human that you want to be. So, here is your and my wholehearted practice each day this week. I'm going to each day ask you and I to do one intentional act of goodness. Just one. Send encouragement. Offer help. Express gratitude. Leave a generous review. Make amends. Give anonymously. Remember, it doesn't have to be big. It just has to be intentional. And as you do, notice what shifts in your relationships. Notice what shifts in the places and spaces that you occupy. Notice what shifts not only just around you, but even within you. You know, we can't fix everything, but we can add good. And in a world that often runs on reactive outrage and divisiveness, that choice is powerful. Goodness is not naive. Goodness is courageous. Goodness is steady. Goodness is how we stay human. So, thanks for being here today. And I'm just again so glad we are on this journey together in this crazy world. So until next time, stay human.